Boom shakalaka! Where you there? Wagwan. It's Catch Up Fridays, man.
Hi guys, welcome back to another Catch Up Friday.
How you guys doing?
Today we're talking about FOMO, the
Fear of missing out.
Yes, so when we thought about the people on our channel that we want to reach out to, millennials who have this struggle between their faith and other areas in their life, but they want to live confidently and change the world.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out seemed like one of the main internal struggles that those people would be dealing with.
So what does that look like for you, honey?
It does look like comparison. I recognize when I do get into this spiral of, okay, Instagram. You're scrolling through your Instagram, you're looking at different people's, posts, you're looking at their houses, their kids. Oh my, they have such sweet toys for their kids. They have all those wooden blocks, all those nice looking things, or the kids look so nice, or just they have that comfy home. When I begin to get into that place of comparison, where I'm not able to be happy for their posts, I know I'm having FOMO. I know I'm experiencing that sort of, I'm gonna compare myself between them, and I'm gonna compare my season in life with their season in life, and that's not fair to either of us. It's not fair for me to compare my season with theirs. And so usually it's either coming out of Instagram immediately or trying to go back and deal with that internal issue. Like, why am I dealing with this, and talking to myself about it. Yeah. What does that look like for you?
Well, one area I found myself I guess feeling like I'm missing out in is, I guess, health and exercise. I do have a few friends I follow just for motivation, encouragement, that kind of thing. But then sometimes you slouch into the thought or the mindset like, whoa, these guys are really ripping it, you're hitting the gym, you're bulking up, you're getting a six-pack, that kind of thing.
Protein
or you're just eating right, you're eating the right food, you're living healthy, you're on top of your health and exercise game. And I think that's been an area I've been trying to grow more in, but still not at the level that I want to be at. And I think sometimes I'm just like, man, how do these guys do it? Right. And then, just feeling like, for me right now, I'm just going to the gym twice a week, 2 days a week. And I've intentionally not tried to do more, because I said to myself, I'm going to be slow and steady. But then, slow and steady wins the race. But at the same time, you're like, man, these guys are really pressing in. They're really getting results. I'm like, I'm not really seeing any results right now. I'm missing out. I need more.
So then the emotion, what does
So I feel like I'm failing.
I feel like I'm
failing. I feel like I'm not hitting my target. I'm not reaching my goals. And just like, why bother try, but then I have to remind myself, I say, Teko, it's you have to take your time.
Right.
It's gonna gain over time. It's really just the habit,
right?
Building a good habit and being consistent.
And I do think, because Brené Brown talks about this in her book, I am a huge Brené Brown fan, for anybody who doesn't know.
Well, both of us.
Right, because I've converted you over time, but I'm a huge Brené Brown fan.
And she's on Netflix, by the way. Check it out, Vulnerability.
I don't know if it's called Vulnerability, something about courage. But Brené Brown, she's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And she says this in a couple of her books as well, just talking about how gratitude does help to counteract, when you have these sort of emotions.
Yeah.
And it's true, like, in moments when I think about, it's a difficult day, or I begin to compare what my day looks like to somebody's day on like an Instagram post, and you start to say, oh, you know what, I'm really grateful for this thing, and you start to list the certain things that you're grateful for. It does help to bring you out of this space.
Or I think just to bring in perspective that the successes they're having is where they're at right now, but you're having successes in your life in different areas.
Right.
So to be able to look back in your own life and say like, okay, the season I'm in, like for me, I'm a dad, we're having our second child in like a few weeks from now.
7 weeks.
Obviously I can't do the same thing that some of these other guys are doing, or not at the level of which they're doing it right now. So you know, to go back to the drawing board and, you know, zone into like, what are my priorities? Am I being consistent with them? And, you know, making sure that you're meeting those objectives and being consistent with them. So, you know, to assess your situation and their situation, I'm sure that you won't end up with the same thing.
And I think that's an important thing that people have to, if they take away nothing else from this, that they take away this part, that your situation or your season doesn't invalidate somebody else's.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a tweet like this week, where somebody was saying like, oh, I don't have a husband and kids, so I shouldn't be stressed. And in a sense, you know, I get what she was saying. She was just saying that, you know, those things come with more responsibility.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that more responsibility might mean a stressful thing for those people. And we have to learn how to communicate about where we are in life and not invalidate people who are less or more.
Yeah.
Because we can even make people who feel like they're really accomplishing things like, oh, you feel like you're better than the rest of us.
Yeah.
You know, when really they're just doing what they can be doing.
And they're in a different season.
Right. And so I think it's important that we find ways, because other people would ask this too, why not just come off of social media? I love social media. I love Instagram. I love looking at the pictures. I love being able to edit the photos and put them up there. So no, I wouldn't come off of Instagram. What I would do, which I've done, is find ways to be able to be so happy for the people's posts that I see on Instagram, where I can like it and I'm doing it from a genuine space. Because I can't just come off of Instagram because, oh, I'm gonna start comparing. I need to deal with that internally.
Not be so judgmental.
Right. So yeah, I guess that would be a tip I give to people.
And I agree, like, also celebrate people who are growing in other areas that you're not growing, even if it's an area that you want to grow in, because like, who doesn't want to be celebrated? People don't want to just be tolerated. Celebrate people. Like, you want to be celebrated, so do it for somebody else.
Havila Cunnington, I don't know if you guys know about her, but she talks about this in one of her sermons, like the $20 moment thing. I'll put a link to that sermon as well into the description for this video. But she talks about, you know, one of her kids, oh my, I feel like I'll spoil the story, but she talks about one of her kids getting $20 after they were trying to work hard to earn money. And like, one of the sons was just so upset that he got $20 and, you know, the other one was working so hard and he never got that, you know, he never got enough money. And she was just saying, I think it was the same thing, like, don't compare people's $20 moments to yours, and learning how to celebrate theirs.
Wow.
So just, gratitude, this place of contentment, this place of being grateful. Lord, thank you for what I have. Thank you for, you know, thank you for Kalina with the craziness that he brings. Thank you for my house with the craziness that it brings. Thank you for Hawaii. Thank you for the things that we have and the things that we don't have. Like, you get into that place of being grateful, it helps to bring you out of FOMO.
And I think also when you step back and look at your own circumstances and situations, you're like, whoa, I'm really blessed, you know, regardless of how challenging or frustrating some of your days might feel. Look, step back, or, you know, ask a few persons, you know, to give their feedback, and you'd be surprised. People sometimes want to be like you, and then there you are trying to be like somebody else. You know, like, be yourself, you know.
So yeah, I guess our encouragement to you guys today is just embrace gratitude, embrace contentment, embrace your season, embrace where you are in life, and just find ways. I don't know what would work for you, but find ways to deal with FOMO so that it doesn't stop
Gratitude is a huge one. Just being very thankful for what you have, where you're at, and the games that you're winning, you know, the areas that you're succeeding at in life. And you'll always have areas that you want to grow in, but just know that with time things come together. So yeah, hopefully we encourage
find those ways, and you're able to slowly build steps that bring you into this courageous life. Share some ways how fear of missing out have been affecting you, and what you've done to break that
mindset.
And if you know somebody who's dealing with this, share it with them.
Yeah, man.
See you next Friday.
One up.